Go further with the American Express Business Gold Card. Earn 3 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels when you book through AmexTravel.com. Whether your destination is a business conference or a client meeting, your purchases will help you earn more points for future trips. Experience more on your travels with Amex Business Gold. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold Card. Built for business by American Express.
This episode is brought to you by Hyundai. Think you know what an electric vehicle should be? Think again. From the charge time and range in the Ioniq 5 and 6 to the 601 horsepower Ioniq 5N, Hyundai is redefining what EVs should be. Learn more about Hyundai EVs at HyundaiUSA.com. EPA estimated 303-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 5 SE SEL limited rear-wheel drive and 361-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 6 SE long-range rear-wheel drive with fully charged battery. Actual range may vary.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
You're listening to the Animation Addicts podcast with the Rotoscopers. Episode 314, The Best Animated Castles. It's my birthday. That's what we're doing.
Welcome to the Animation Addicts podcast with the Rotoscopers, the #1 place to get your animation fix with animation addicts just like you. Each episode, we dive into the wonderful world of animation featuring Disney, DreamWorks, Pixar, and everything in between. From hilarious discussions and movie reviews to interviews with industry insiders, this show's mission is to brighten your day through our love of animation. So hop on your nerdy couch, grab some snacks, and get ready to hang out with your animation besties because it's time to dive into today's episode.
Hey there, Animation Addicts. I'm Morgan Stradling.
And I'm Chelsea Robson.
We are back together for another amazing episode of the Animation Addicts podcast. This time we are talking about our favorite, not our favorite, just all animated castles. And we're going to be ranking them from best to worst. And there's some great ones. And there's some, you know, as far as castles go, they really can't get too bad. There are some silly ones in here
these days. So, yeah.
You know, a lot of them look very similar, you know, a lot of spires.
Yes. So in preparation for this episode, I was planning on doing best animated castles, houses, and abodes, kind of just throwing everything in together. But then there were a lot of houses and abodes. So I thought, well, okay, let's do one that's just castles and then one that's houses and abodes. So we will be doing that. And all of these came from the internets, but also we put it up for a vote, I guess, or submissions. So if you wanted to go to rotoscopers.com/rank, then you are able to check out which tier rankings we have coming up, which are just fun things. And so we did get some official submissions from some of the listeners. And so I am very excited about this because I just felt like I want to talk about castles because I'm obsessed.
I love it. As a true princess should say.
As we should, yes. So I embrace the fact that I love talking about these things. So I'm excited. Okay, calm down, Chelsea. So what I did is I went in and I made the list. And then I also found different pictures. Morgan and I both went out and scoured the internet, found some pictures, and then we went to tiermaker.com where you're able to actually have go in and rank your own things. And so I'm going to be putting a link to that in the notes of this episode. So you can go ahead and you can rank your own and go ahead and share that wherever and just tag us. And so we can see how you ended up ranking all of these fantastic castles. All right, Morgan, are you ready?
I'm ready. And just before we get into our ranking, just a reminder about Amazon Prime for young adults. They are still doing their amazing exclusive offer right now. You can get 50% off Prime in addition to that 6-month trial. You can go to rotoscopers.com/PrimeYA. You could check it out for yourself and take advantage of that sweet, sweet 2-day shipping and all the other goodies that you can get from Amazon. And also anything that you purchase using our Amazon affiliate link going to rotoscopers.com/Amazon, we get a small kickback commission at no cost to you that helps to support the show. And every little bit counts, and it does help. It does keep the server running, so we keep the website running, and we really appreciate it. So those are our 2 offers for you today. You can sign up for Amazon Prime, get that for that free trial, rotoscopers.com/PrimeYA. And if you already have Amazon Prime, start your Amazon shopping at rotoscopers.com/Amazon. Now on to the castles.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Imagine what's possible when learning doesn't get in the way of life. At Capella University, our game-changing FlexPath learning format lets you set your own deadlines so you can learn at a time and pace that works for you. It's an education you can tailor to your schedule. That means you don't have to put your life on hold to pursue your professional goals. Instead, enjoy learning your way and earn your degree without missing a beat. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
This episode is brought to you by Walmart. New beauty is in bloom at Walmart, and it's all about springtime radiance. From Drybar, Tula Skincare, and hundreds more available online, Walmart has the premium brands you want and this season's on-trend products for flawless, glossy hair and hydrated skin. Big name beauty brands? Check. The things you love? Check. Find trending spring beauty and all you need to look and feel gorgeous at Walmart, on app and online.
Morgan, when you think of castles, what is the very first castle that you think of relating to Disneyland?
Sleeping Beauty Castle relating to Disneyland. I mean, what?
Well, yes, but I just wanted to make sure that we started on Sleeping Beauty's castle because we're going to start there.
Okay, but before we do, I'm going to give a little rules for this. So scroll up, Chelsea, scroll up to the top. So if you aren't familiar with tier maker and tier rankings, there's definitely, you're ranking things in different tiers. So there's the S tier, also known as the God tier. This is the best of the best. We can also, yes, this is superior for all things of all. It's the ultimate of the ultimate. A, pretty darn good. Basically amazing, but it might have like 1 or 2 chips that, cause, the paint's flaking a bit. We don't like that. Then there's B, that's kind of like middle of the road. C, and then D is just you're the worst of the worst. And so that's kind of how we're going to rank these into these different categories. And as far as our criteria for it, we haven't actually talked about this, but it definitely, the aesthetic, how it looks has a big factor to play. But
how much I remember it? Memorability.
Yeah, memorability, but does necessarily, maybe if it's integral to the plot, that might give it some points, but not necessarily. Doesn't have to be like, oh, the whole movie takes place in this castle, therefore it's this. I mean, no, it's better if there's some sort of key moment or scene that's tied to that helps create that emotional impact when you see that thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily have to. Same thing when obviously we're going to do this next episode or the next Nerdy Couch discussion. We do this for the houses and abodes, but just want to kind of give those little ground rules so we're kind of on the same page, because Chelsea and I, we're ultimately, we may have different opinions on this and we're going to have to
fight it out,
come together. Yes. And maybe I'll just give to you on that one. Like, I really don't care about the Quest for Camelot Castle that much, but if you think it's S tier, fine, go for it. So we might have a little bit of disagreement and have to consolidate and compromise, if you will. So this will be fun. I'm really excited because who doesn't love a good castle?
Exactly.
All right, here's our beautiful tier list. Okay, so we are going to start with a banger. We're going to start with a good one, a classic one. As Chelsea said, when you think of Disneyland, what do you think of? Of course, you think of Sleeping Beauty's castle, also known as King Stephen's Castle. Now, this is different. The Sleeping Beauty Castle in Disneyland is totally different look than King Stephen's Castle. So we're no longer ranking the real world Disney castles. These are the animated ones. So King Stephen's Castle, this is the Mary Blair aesthetic. It is stunning. It has those tall spires, that's very, the tall trees, the tall spires, everything is a very elongated, elegant look to me. It's kind of set on a hill, as castles many times are, to give, you have the high ground.
Right.
And again, So I mean, I think this is kind of perfection in a castle. There's a lot that happens here. You know, the people they fall asleep. Philip, you know, he's kind of riding around and engaging in this castle, and I think it's fantastic. I think it's beautiful.
I agree. I'm going to put that up at S tier because it's kind of just one that everybody knows and looks to.
Okay, so our next castle is Cinderella's castle. And this one is even more iconic, I think. We might be able to move things down, but because this one is just, it's white. It's, rank it high. Yeah, put it in front of that one. It just stands out. So a lot of the pictures that we get of King Stephen Castle, it's not like picture clear. It's usually dark and a little bit gloomy because everything's happening in the movie. But this one, it is always like this beacon on a hill, this shining light.
Oh, it's perfection.
Stunning, beautiful. It's almost unworldly how picturesque it is.
Yeah, and then she goes and she has a wonderful dance and just like everything happens that needs to happen. It's like her future. Everything they use the castle as her goal in life, like everything that will make her better off. And so I'm just, yes, that is the most iconic Cinderella's castle.
So do we think we should move Stefan's castle down to A? Or just leave it there? They're still both iconic.
It's a Yeah, I think that it's still iconic. I just don't think that it is as iconic as.
Okay. I think maybe we should move down to A, but we'll see how are these other ones, and maybe at the end we'll do a little shaking and shuffling. You know, I don't want everything being S tier because that's not true. You know, it's not quite.
Okay, we'll move it down to A for now.
Okay, for now, and if we feel like it really needs to go back. Okay. Now we are going to the Arendelle Castle. Now this is obviously the castle that Princess Elsa inherits, and much happens here because of closing the gates. It's beautiful. It's pretty. It has this blue iridescent quality to the roof. It's along this beautiful lake with the fjord right there.
This specific one is after she has become queen, and so it has her.
Oh, she's like frosted. She's
frosted it.
What's for that movie where they call it ice yourself, or no, frost yourself. Frost yourself. Has a little frosting. Name that movie in the comments if you can. Okay, it's How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Okay, yes. Frost yourself. You just have that frosting. So I like this one. I think this is A or B. It's so hard because like none of these are stinkers. Like none of these are just terrible. I think we will come up with a few.
Probably
A. Okay,
it's like they did a good job with that. They knew what they understood.
It's a little small. It's a little small. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but it's picturesque. It's nice.
Okay, perfect. All right, next up we have from Mulan, the Imperial Palace. Wow.
Okay. I mean, I've been to the Imperial Palace. It is quite impressive, and in the movie, it's also very impressive. You got the fireworks happening. The whole party is happening. I don't think I would put it up there as something that I would remember, though, as being a castle.
There's a really cool moment at the end where all of China bows down to her, and she's up on this pedestal, this castle, and everyone is there and sees what she has done for her country. And initially it was just for her family. So there is this really pivotal moment. The end fight scene obviously happens there, killing Shan Yu and kill as they do with
throw him from a
yes
spire.
Yeah, I think that's a good place for it.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we have Beast Castle from Beauty and the Beast.
S-tier.
Oh, S tier. Boom. She popped it right up there. Give us a why.
So this is the castle. If I owned a castle, it would be this castle. And it is actually after, I believe it's after Neuschwanstein. Well, I mean, they're all kind of similar to Neuschwanstein, the castle in Germany. But this one, I don't know, you have the rounded ballroom, you have just the fact that, I mean, the
West Wing.
The West Wing. The palace itself, like the whole place is sentient. So that's also kind of cool.
Yeah, we see two different parts of this castle. When it's under the spell, it's the very gothic. They have the gargoyles and then when the spell has lifted, the true character of the castle shines through. And instead of the gothic gargoyles, we get these cherubs, and everything is light and bright, but it still has this like Baroque, and we don't see a ton of Baroque in it. They tried to do that in the live action, and they went too far Baroque where it was so gaudy and disgusting, but it has like Baroque elements that just are enough to give it spice, if you will, and
Yeah.
and character, which really makes it interesting. In addition to everything that's happening in the movie with it. So yeah.
Okay. So next.
Next up is King Triton's Palace. This is under the sea for The Little Mermaid. Whew, this one's so good.
I'm gonna put this at S tier.
I think it's under the sea for one. It's just have these. It's again, we're looking at all these different castles. They're all designed so differently, but similarly at the same time. I mean, castles have to have very similar elements that hold them together. But this one's just really. It has this like golden, almost like it's plated in gold. You know, not sure necessarily what, but it feels like it's lived under the sea, or it's not perfect crystal. You know, I'm trying to see if I can find a bigger picture. Does it look like it has like a little bit of barnacles on it? You know, it's just become part. Yeah. Which is really cool.
It looks alive.
All right, next up, Cusco's Palace. Now, this one has a really interesting element because it's meant to basically kind of look like Cusco. So it has this head ornamental piece that he wears. And so it mimics that. And it's a funny gag. But beyond that, it can't tell you anything about the palace other than just like that one part. I would put that as C.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's not a stinker, but it's like, okay, like you did the gag.
Yeah, and they have funny moments. I love the, why do we even have that lever? So that's like they're good things.
Yep.
Don't forget Aladdin.
You threw off the Emperor's Groove.
Beware the groove.
Aladdin? Did I miss it? Where is it? Oh, Sultan's Palace. Yes. Okay, next up we have the Sultan's Palace from Agrabah from Aladdin, 1992. S tier. I mean, this one is so much different and unique. It has the big bulbous on top of the spires, if you will. And so much happens here. The big balconies that just they're rounded and elongated. They're kind of oblong. It has the draperies for the inside and the outside places. The menagerie where she has her birds.
Yes.
There's a lot happening here, but visually, I mean, the orange color palette is amazing. Just really gives you this desert feel, and it blends in with the atmosphere. And I like it.
And I think
I've always loved it. I remember like this, like really standing out in my mind as a child, like how cool this one was.
Yeah, and if you think of like castles in your mind, like that's a very iconic castle.
Yes, it doesn't have the typical pointy that it's iconic in such a unique, different way.
Yeah.
All right, now we have Prince Eric's castle. This one's cool. This is a castle by the sea, and it is much different than King Triton's castle. We have a little more like rounded shapes, and obviously it has like this red roof, which I am a sucker for a red tile roof. This is like my jam.
Is this on the
very
French
Mediterranean
Riviera? Like, oh goodness.
Yes.
It feels more Italian to me, like looking, but the whole thing is just lovely. And this is another one that if I were to own a castle, this would actually probably be closer to what I would be able to afford. Still completely out. All of these are still completely out of my price range. However, it would be probably closer. And it's just so lovely. I can absolutely see myself spending a summer on the ocean right there.
Next, we have Elsa's Ice Palace from Frozen. Very iconic. However, now that time has settled, I kind of am like, you're great. You're awesome. You clearly showed your prowess as an architect, Elsa. This is impressive for a one-man show.
It is.
A woman show. Very angular. Everything's very sharp. It feels very cold. And everything that this is supposed to represent, it does. The colors are beautiful with the purples and the teals and the blues, and it just really, and it's on top of this mountainside, so it makes it very difficult to get to, but it's like showing, I don't think she's purposely showing the world like, here I am, but it's like all of this is coming out of her in this moment. So
it's a beautiful moment in the show.
Great, tied to the song Let It Go. Yeah.
So it has a lot of things. Just my personal,
I feel like
I don't want to put it up at S tier, but it's like I know that it could be. There's a lot of people
about the different
would.
merits of this. I'm like, how it needs to be S tier, even though I don't necessarily want it to be. So I get put it up there.
Okay, all right, we'll put it up there.
I don't know.
Well, it's fine. It also is very different from the others, and so personally, I would put it at A.
Okay, we're both saying we're putting it at A. Okay. We know in our heart of hearts, like maybe, but you got robbed, Elsa. You got robbed.
The thing is, like, I love Eric's Castle, and if this were my personal list, that I would just be like, these are the houses that I would want to buy, that one would be S tier. But because I'm looking at it as the whole thing, I'm like, it's definitely not as, I don't know, is it?
Put it back up there. Oh my gosh. It deserves it. Okay. Okay. All right. Next. Now we have, we're moving away from Disney, which we tried to like rack our brain, but we really, are pretty Disney based. And so this is our first one out of that realm. It's Queen Uberta's castle from the Swan Princess. Very nice. Very charming. Probably
It's a very good castle.
Yeah, it's a great castle. It has like the roaming landscape and the trees and the forests and the fields next to it. And then it has a lake. Always love myself a good lake next to my castle. Drawbridge. Not necessarily a drawbridge, but it has the bridge.
And inside you have a really nice ballroom. You have those staircases that kids can slide down on. I mean, there's a lot of great things about this castle.
Yeah.
So
I'm still leaving it in B.
Yeah, it's still at a B.
Okay. Next up, we have the Swan Lake Castle. Now, this is technically, this is Odette's castle that was robbed from her. So it goes through a little bit of a transformation. When Rothbart has it. It's we don't see it at its prime, but then later, she's able to re-inherit it, if you will. And it's nice. It's pretty. We don't see a whole lot of it, but it has a good look. I put it B. Yeah. Chelsea's putting it A. Oh, well, back to B.
We'll throw it at B, because it's kind of at the same level.
It's like a classic, standard, awesome castle, which puts you right in the middle because all castles are awesome.
Yeah, that's also probably closer to my price range as well, depending on the country.
Yes. There's by the lake, very key part of that movie. Yes. Okay, so now we are moving to Howl's Moving Castle. There's two different ones. So let's talk about Howl's Castle itself. Now, when I was going through this list, when we were talking about, initially we had this grand list of all the houses, abodes, apartments, castles. And I was like, if it is a vehicle, it doesn't count. For example, the Peach in James the Giant Peach. Does that count as a house? And I said no. But this one literally is called a castle. So
it is. And we had
it's like
two
crucial
people
to the plot.
That we needed to add it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we had multiple requests. So the people must be heard. We had Jeremiah and Jonathan, who both suggested putting this one on there. And so I think for that reason, that it is highly requested, very memorable, desirable, I think it's an A tier.
Yeah, it's just because it was requested that many times.
Sophie's Castle is the other castle that we get. And this one is
not as memorable.
Not as memorable. Yeah, when Chelsea had all these images, and they were like so small. They are postage stamp. So unless you've looked at these castles beforehand, or you're incredibly familiar with every single castle, you're kind of sitting here squinting your eyes, like, what am I looking at? This one looks like sort of like a robotic creature, and I was like, I don't know what this is. So I'd put it a D.
Okay,
that I had to kind of be reminded, and it's not castle-like. It's not this.
Yeah,
it's unique, but it's
like
not.
A bug.
Yeah, it's like, how did you get on here? Like, how'd you get past the bouncer?
Who let you in here?
Yeah. So we're not fighting over it. There we go. Next up. So this is Chelsea's personal addition to this list.
I do love this one.
From Aladdin and the King of Thieves, we have the castle on the back of a giant turtle.
It's on the back of a giant turtle.
It's a thing. Check it out. It's a good movie. You should really check it out. So explain why you've settled this in the B tier.
I have put this in the B tier. I feel like it is a very beautiful castle if you go ahead and look at it. You're also, you get to see the world because you're on the back of a giant turtle. You're never in the same place twice. And
goes underwater, you get submerged. So
yeah, that's unfortunate. You have to actually have like more equipment, so you may end up dying. Ugh. But it's
C to me.
And also like you have to deal with the noise and the it's like being on a cruise ship where you always end up seasick every morning. So
you're not selling me on this castle. I'm bumping this down to C.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, we'll throw that down to C.
There's a lot of work hazards, living hazards with this one, but it looks nice. It's pretty cool. It's a cool element, like on the move. It's like you have a yacht. I have a castle on a turtle. Oh wow, okay, great for you. Hotel Transylvania. Now this is a hotel. So in our other one, I have a drop down category for like what type of building is this? And there's actually quite a few apartments that are going to show up in our next episode, our next ranking episode. And this one, and then I have apartments, and then I have businesses. And this is a business, but it's a castle. And it's a very iconic castle in folklore. As far as like the actual look of this one, it's fine.
Yeah, it's not one that
it,
I feel it is what's to be expected of the area, and it's just not just because we're used to, Cinderella's castle as being our S tier. We're definitely not going to see that as being as magnificent. However, there is the amount of people that are there, and the visitors that you end up getting to meet, I'm sure, is just worth its weight in admission.
Indeed.
So I don't know, A or B for this one.
B.
Okay.
I was thinking
We
even
gotta
C,
B.
so that was a good happy medium for us. Okay. The Horned King's Castle from the Black Cauldron. Now I think an instant is like, oh, it's Black Cauldron. The movie's not great. It's the bottom of the bottom for Disney. However, we're not thinking about that. We're thinking about the actual aesthetics and look and,
It's for an evil king's castle. It's pretty amazing. Like we have a couple of the other ones on here that are, as far as the villains go, and they're, there's something left to be desired. But this one really does showcase that this is an evil dude. So,
nice.
All right,
Okay.
I'm looking at A or B, and I put it at A, but what do you think?
I mean, it's like this rocky, craggy, it's decrepit, falling apart. Looks like it has like moss and yeah, I like it. I think it's cool. It's an A or a B. So I think for that reason, bump it down to B.
Okay, we'll go for B.
B it is. Next up is Andalasia's castle from Enchanted. This is Giselle. It's a very nice castle. It's a classic castle. It's kind of one of these like checks off all the boxes. Like, oh, we're going to create this animated thing. There's nothing really offensive to knock it down into a lower category. Like, it looks like the person, or it's on a strange creature. But I think it's fine at B.
Yeah, I like it. I feel like it feels good at B right there.
Yeah. And yeah, she has a great thing going for her, and she abandons it for the real world. I mean,
I guess.
So next up we have Corona Castle. This is very iconic, I feel, just because this is obviously from Tangled. It's Rapunzel's castle. And it's this city that is on an island. And so you have this really dramatic bridge that you have to get to the city of Corona. And then at the peak apex of this, again, we see lots of these on hills. It's just a way to visually draw your eye in. You have the high ground Anakin. And this one it's nice. It's pretty. I think and because of
with all the lanterns afterward, it's very beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. I'm thinking like A or B, but I think because of how important this area land is, it kind of like elevates it a little bit more.
Yeah, and I like the movie better than a lot of the other. So I put it actually
not biased at all, guys. Like this is just like all of our rankings. It means nothing. The points mean nothing. It's just that's the great thing about rankings. You can go and do this yourself and be like, no. But yeah, I like the movie better. Therefore, yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's put it there. That's a good spot.
All right.
Okay, this is our first Pixar castle and probably the only one, Castle Dunbrook from Brave. This is a nice looking castle. I mean, it's the Scottish. It's less of the angular spires, more of the sprawling castle. There's the
it definitely has more of a fortress look.
Yes, it's more of the fortress castle where no, this serves a purpose to protect us, and it needs that. So. And I like it. I mean, there's nothing special about it. It's not pretentious. It's not trying to be something that it's not. It's just this long-standing Scottish castle. So yeah, I think C tier is really great. I mean, it's not a bad castle.
It's really not. The only reason I put it down lower is just because I don't think about it. When I think of
so you're thinking of like, oh, what are your favorite castles? Like this would never come up on your list.
Right.
All right, next up, this is the newest one on the list. This is Rosa's Castle, also known as Magnifico's Castle from Wish. Now, this is an interesting one. I mean, this is a similar design to the Corona. Wow, you threw that down in D?
I just hate the movie so much.
Well, I mean, the design is really nice though. They wanted it to be, see, the problem is they wanted this to be like nothing but everything at the same time. Like it's like very Mediterranean and inspired. Right. And then like at other times they contradict that. But I do like the like ivory tones with the teal rooftops. Like I love myself. I don't know if we have one on this one. I think it's later. Like a good copper roof that has
it's patinaed.
Patina. Yeah, has the patina that turns it to this tealish thing is like one of my favorite things. Not that this is what that's supposed to be, but this is very light, beautiful. Nothing. It's kind of sanitized slightly.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem very, I feel like they were trying to just check off boxes. Okay, let's get something from that. And it just doesn't seem very imaginative.
This castle is reminiscent of a different castle that we're going to be talking about at the very, very end, where it's like one big spire, one big building that signifies the castle versus like, obviously it's one big building, but you have like multiple areas of visual interest. So again, this is the top of the top on this. So yeah. Excuse me. I know it's not so offensive that it merits D. The movie, yes. The castle, fine. C.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. Snow White's castle. So this is the Queen's castle. So this is the one where Snow White's father married the Queen. Queen takes over. This is now her castle. This is like iconic, one of the very first ones. It kind of set the stage. Obviously, a lot of these early Disney castles are based on real life castles. And so they have a lot of depth to them because they're not just like whipped out. It's like if you were to make a Disney castle in AI or Midjourney, like you would get something that would be.
Yes, it would be very similar to this.
No. I'd say it wouldn't be. I'd say this is because this is based on reality more so. It has a little bit more nuance. I think it's a good C tier or B tier, excuse me.
Okay.
So there's a lot that happens here. They have the dungeons and they have, this hidden part of it that we typically won't see in some of the movies, but I really like it. I just don't think it's up with some of those other ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Next is the prince's castle. This Prince Florian. So at the very end, he whisks her away. Someday my prince will come. And this is the iconic, angels are singing. The Disney choir is singing. And castle in the sky. I mean, it literally feels and looks like it's in the sky. Like these clouds are there. It's just, she's had such a hard life into this point, and this is her savior has come and helped her and is taking her away so she can have this happy life. And so, yeah, the damsel in distress. Oh, wow, you're putting it on an S tier. You love this castle so much, it's S tier.
Well, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm kind of feeling it out.
Oh, you're feeling it out. You're just like, where do you belong? I mean, it feels, when I think of Cinderella's castle, or when I think of Snow White's castle, I think of this over the Queen's castle, for sure. This is the one I think of. I think this would either be B or A, yeah. Not S, although it's quite lovely.
So I'm going to say B.
Okay.
Just because you don't actually go into it. It's just kind of the ending moment. So I don't really know. I can't tell you what the ballroom looks like. So that's
it's a big downer for Chelsea. She really loves her balls. My niece actually, they normally they don't do like a lot of big parties. They just do family parties, which is great. But then her youngest daughter is turning 4, and she said, "Mom, I want to have a ball. How come we don't have balls?" So they had a party. And they invited all the cousins over, and they all wore their ball gowns and had a big ball and danced, and it was great.
For Marissa's 40th birthday, we tried to have a ball, and so it was very fun.
I was in attendance. I received the royal letter.
Yes, you did.
Next up, we have Puss in Boots Castle from Puss in Boots. This is not the amazing, grandiose. Now, this one's pretty cool. This has red roof, sort of spires to it. And this is like the classic kind of castle. You think of, we have a local area. It's in California too. It's called Gulfland. And yes, they had, it's like this typical medieval castle. And then it's like capped off with these caps, if you will, that are pointy and
with the flags.
This is that with the flags like waving on top. Yes, if you're over to the old Lego castles from the 90s, had this sort of design. Yes. This, I think like they knew, they understood the assignment for this.
Yes, they did.
But at the same time, I could never have told you that this existed. So unfortunately for that, although it's quite lovely design, it's going to be a C.
Okay.
Next we have King Arthur's castle. Now I say King Arthur because Wart, or Arthur in The Sword in the Stone. Ultimately, he becomes king, and so this is his castle. So I'm going to call it that. Chelsea dumped it in D. Like, what
Have
on
you
earth?
seen this place? This is definitely needing a huge
Well,
renovation.
well, he wasn't
And
in charge. It's quite small.
but the whole thing is falling apart. Like every bit of this thing is falling apart. And I just if you have caution tape somewhere, it would be around this castle.
Okay, well, fair enough.
I will say it's better than Sophie's castle though, because
Okay,
it's
bump that right above. Yes, sounds good. Well, sorry about that, Arthur. I need to get to work now that you're in power. It's probably an old, you know,
yeah, I mean they didn't have any
been
money.
around for a few centuries, definitely. All right, next up is the Castle of Nottingham, King Richard's castle. The usurper, uh, Prince John, takes it over. This is a cool one. I definitely love Robin Hood, and this is your classic medieval castle.
Yes.
It's utilitarian, meaning it serves its purpose. It has the little. I can't think. It's escaping me. I've tried to search it. The terminology with the ups and downs, where everything is kind of like it's so you can point your weapon through those little crevices.
Uh-huh.
Along it has like a very sturdy outer wall. The castle's on the inside. Has a drawbridge with a moat. I mean, come
That
on.
also is awesome.
That's like a classic thing when you think of castles. You think of like drawbridge with moat, but we haven't seen much of that. We've seen them like around a lake, which I guess is even better than a moat. But yeah, I like this in B. I want to give it A just because I think it's so great, but
Where would you put it in B?
it's not an A. Well, definitely in front of Horn King, in front of Transylvania. What's that one that I'm looking
This
at?
is Enchanted.
In front of the Enchanted Castle. It has a little bit more character. In front of Snow White's castle, in front of
So we are looking at right
there.
behind the Swan Lake Castle. All right, I get that.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Cool. Yeah, way to go.
Wait, we didn't really say where we wanted the Imperial Palace. Where does
Yeah,
that
he just sort of existed there.
Yeah.
I'm fine keeping it there for now.
Okay.
It's kind of yeah. Next we have the floating castle from Atlantis, the Lost Empire.
I think this one's cool. I'm gonna
Chelsea
put it
thinks
in
it's
B.
cool. She puts it in B. I'm not gonna fight her on it.
Where
Cool
shall we
looking
put
one.
it, though?
Not very. I think it could be C. So for that
Okay,
reason,
we'll put
just
it
throw
at
it
the
at the end. Yeah.
Okay. No, the reason why I like this one is just it's Atlantis, so it's a whole other world, other technology. It's in the very end you see all of these rock formations kind of come up and around and the magic exists and
Yeah.
so I mean the whole story, the whole thing is just really cool and I would like to go there. But it's as far as yeah, I think I would
Maybe a bump it slightly up above the Horn King.
yeah, I would put it there. I would put it right here, right
Okay.
in front of Enchanted, behind Sleeping or Snow White's castle,
All right.
or the Evil Queen's.
Okay. Now we have the Forbidden Mountain. This is Maleficent's lair, her domain. This is pretty iconic.
It is. Where does it go though? When you're looking at it, as iconly, like what would if you're looking at it just on its aesthetics, where would you put it around the Horn King?
In front of the Horn King, because it has a little bit more interest to it because it's on this like winding cliff face where it almost looks like it's going to fall off.
Yeah.
It's difficult to get there. There's key moments that happen here. Again, it's one of these decrepit castles that's falling apart and she doesn't care, but it's visually interesting and contrasts King Stephen's castle.
Wait, are we sure that one is that? I think that might be the last unicorn castle.
Oh no.
I forgot I added that one.
But I didn't have it. Forbidden
Maleficent.
Oh, what? What? King Haggard's castle?
It is.
No. Wait, are these so similar that similar looks? But the last unicorn castle is the one on the cliff face. This one just sort of is like popping out of like a murky bog.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
the Forbidden
Maleficent's
Mountain
castle,
and the last unicorn castle.
very close. But the Forbidden Mountain has a lot more swirly clouds of evil penetrating around.
Oh yes, yes, and it has this like it's in a bog, like this this poisonous bog that you step in it and you're going to be basically like
there is no
burned to
there is
death.
no bridge to get across. Like it's just
Yes.
it is as as bad as it can be.
Mhm.
So I still think that this is, I mean, B tier for me because I'm just like I
Yeah.
could I'm putting all of the evil castles on a B tier, but it will be in front of the Horn King. And then I'm putting the last unicorn castle right
Also
after
known
them.
as King Haggard's castle.
Yes, yes. King
You know, this
Haggard did
this
have
one's
the
interesting.
Red
It's
Bull many years ago.
nice. Okay, so there we have it. Two similar ones, and because you're so similar, I mean, there's lots of other ones that are similar as well. So
Yeah.
we can't dock them for that because we didn't really dock the other ones. Okay, next up we have Catherine Palace. This is in Russia, in from Anastasia. This is a very modern
Anastasia.
palace. You know, you have like this big grand driveway, park all your cars and your horses and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it's very long. It's very unique. It's different. It's cool. But it
Uh-huh.
definitely feels like a modern palace, modern castle.
Yes. Well, and it was not medieval for sure. So
Hmm.
this is
Yes.
definitely more of a, as you say, more of the palace side versus a castle side.
Yes. Hmm.
But I put it on B tier.
B tier, right smack dab in the middle of B. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, we have just a few left. Four to be exact. We have Mount Olympus from Hercules.
I
This
I
is pretty
don't know.
iconic.
This really is. I mean, are you
B,
allowed?
excuse me.
A?
I don't think
Okay.
it's S tier. I mean,
Mhm.
it's in the sky, it's on the clouds, it has these waterfalls that flow down from it. Visually, it's very interesting. A lot's happening. The colors are right.
Mm-hmm.
It has these big gates to enter. I like it. A tier.
Yeah.
Stands
Okay.
out among the crowd. Next up, we have Quest for Camelot. I'm not quite sure what the Quest for Camelot castle is called. Let's give it a quick search. It's just called Camelot. Oh, duh. Camelot. And it's not an attractive castle.
It's
It's
not.
almost like it blends into itself. There's no
Yeah.
really defining features because they just kind of blend from I can tell there's a spire and there's some attempts at like this wall around it. It does have a lake, but it's very forgettable.
Yeah.
I would
So I'm
almost
gonna
put
put
it
that.
D.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be above? I think it's
Yes.
the top of D. So
Yes,
good job.
yes.
You beat out the other King Arthur's
You
castle.
beat out the other losers. Okay, next up we have Willie's Castle from Fun and Fancy Free. This is Willie the Giant. This is a castle in the sky, a castle in the clouds, another classic sort of castle design. You're putting it up at A.
I like it up at A. I think it's just so different, but also
Only
it's
you can only get
fun.
to it via Beanstalk, so very
Uh-huh.
exclusive.
I mean, yeah, maybe it is more of a B, but
It's a
where on
B for
B?
me. Yeah. Where on B? Is it above the castle, another castle, similar castle in the clouds? Uh,
Yeah, I'm gonna put it
okay,
below
nice.
Catherine's palace and above the Atlantis.
Okay.
All right,
Okay, we are done. This is our
last one.
34th one on the list. So we had 34 castles in all. Very impressive. And I'm sure there was one that we missed. And we went through this list a few times and we kept finding more and more and more. And eventually it's like, okay, we got to record. So the final one, this is we purposely put it on the list because it's just a hilarious castle. It's so different than the rest, is Lord Farquaad's castle from
Oh my
Shrek,
gosh,
which
it's
basically
great.
looks like an office not an office building, but yeah, it does. It's like in between a skyscraper slash very large office building from the 80s. It's it has one giant mass that's
Yeah.
rectangular and it's so funny. It is hilarious. Like when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that's what the castle looked like. And I love it for that. It's very memorable, iconic.
Yeah, I'm putting it at A tier. This is A tier, but I mean, it's at the end, just right above
Mhm.
Howl's Moving Castle. But it's definitely because every time I look at it, I remember the whole story, and it's like I think he's compensating for something. It's just like it's so funny.
I love it. So there we
Oh,
have it. Now, is
there
there
we have
anything that
it.
needs to be shaken out? So we have 5 in S tier, we have 7 in A tier, we have 9, 11, 13, 14 in B tier, we have 5 in C tier, and 3 in D tier. And I think that's a good distribution because you don't want everything to be S tier. Otherwise, S tier doesn't mean anything. B tier really is like your happy medium for things where like this is a bell curve.
Yeah.
And yeah, I unless you're ranking just terrible, terrible things, then they all deserve to be bad. But very few things mounted.
Okay, so because I've decided I'm going to take Frozen Elsa's castle down to A,
Okay.
and I'm going to put Prince Eric's castle up, and I'm actually going to put it like right above even Aladdin's castle.
Above Agrabah's?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's where I would put it. But
It's your birthday. You can do what you want to. Do what you want to. Do what you want to.
Do what you want to. Like, it's just so, no, okay, we'll put it below Agrabah because I'm like looking at it, I'm like, no, okay. But it's definitely for me an S tier because I'm like, oh, I would so live there. Like tomorrow, I would move there. So
it's very picturesque. It's perfect. I love it. This was a good list. Now, is there anything else that feels out of place? And so let's just, for our audio listeners, I'm going to recap everything so you can kind of get a feel for what's happening here. This is going to be difficult because now my list that was in order is no longer in order, and now I'm just looking at the visual pictures. So we have S tier includes Cinderella's castle, Belle's castle, Triton's castle, Sultan's castle, and Prince Eric's castle. Everything feeling good in there? Nice.
I like it, yeah.
A tier is Elsa's castle, then Prince Stefan's castle. Then we have the Castle of Corona from Rapunzel, Mount Olympus, the Arendelle Castle, Lord Farquaad's castle, and Howl's Moving Castle.
Yes, I feel like that's good.
Nice. B tier is the Imperial Palace, Queen Uberta's castle, Odette's castle. This is Robin Hood's castle. I'm just going to call it that for now. Florian's castle, Sleeping Beauty's Princess castle, the Queen's castle, Catherine's palace in Russia. We have Willie's castle, the Atlantis castle. This one. Enchanted. Yeah. That one I feel like needs to drop down to C. It's just kind of very, or towards the end of it. So, okay. The Enchanted Castle, then Hotel Transylvania, Forbidden Mountain, the Demon King's Castle, and the Last Unicorn Castle. Okay. So we decided that Giselle's castle, throw it down. Now, C now has 6 players. We have Cusco's castle or palace, the Turtle Castle.
Castle on the back of a giant turtle.
Castle Dunbrock, Giselle's castle, Puss in Boots castle, and the castle from Wish. Yes, now this really does feel, because a lot of these C level are just like really bland, kind of like they're fine, but they're just kind of blending into the environment in not so great a way. Not necessarily the Wish's castle. That one just is there because it's a turd. Okay. The 3 in the bottom.
Down there we've got
the Quest for Camelot Castle, Arthur's Castle, and Sophie's Castle.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I like it.
Me too.
We actually evened out the distribution a little bit more by moving something from B to C. So now we have 13 in B, 6 in C, 7 in A. Nice. I like it. This was fun. So I'm excited to do this for our next Nerdy Couch discussion. We're going to do it with homes, abodes. It could be an apartment. It could be a place of business, something that's just iconic that needs to be there. Let us know. Go to Chelsea's link that she has so you can rank this. What is it called?
Rotoscopers.com/rank.
Rotoscopers.com/rank. And if you have more submissions for dwellings, let us know. We also have a link in that spreadsheet so you can see what we have so far and what's been submitted. There's some good ones here. For example, I'm not going to spoil it. You can go and check it out yourself and then submit to make sure we're not missing anything. Now, we're mostly sticking to movies. Some of these, for example, SpongeBob's Pineapple House, it is a movie now.
It is a movie
I guess that
now,
counts.
yeah.
But try to stick with movies, animated movies. Our blind spot right now are non-Disney movies, non-Disney Pixar, because it seems like those are just the easiest to think about. So if there's others from other movies that you're like, oh my gosh, how are you forgetting this? Definitely rotoscopers.com/rank, and you can submit that survey right there. And we'll be having a fun time. So thanks so much, Chelsea. This was a blast. Man, I'm just now dreaming about my castle in the sky. Jealous.
Jelly. Perfect. I'm glad.
And happy birthday, Chelsea. I cannot believe the birthday is already here. I tried to get Chelsea the most iconic birthday present ever. I will include a link to the show notes of what I tried to get her. So for Chelsea's birthday, so I guess I'm spilling the beans. I had Pippo. I don't want to do that sometimes. Chelsea loves Rockadoodle. And so I love Rockadoodle. It's great. And so for years, I have been trying to find an original Rockadoodle thing, but specifically of Goldie. because Goldie is Rockadoodle, And so I was trying on eBay for a few years. There was some like concept art sketches of Goldie there were like 3 poses of her, and it was, looking back, it was a great price. And I was just like, and I was like waiting for something better. And then finally last year or earlier this year, I was like, I'm just going to buy those and give them to her on her birthday. They disappeared. Someone else bought them. I was like, no. So I have an eBay alert set for anything Rockadoodle Goldie. And you wouldn't believe it. Last week, something came up and it was a cell from the movie. And it's the part in the movie where they're trying to get the paper airplane letter to Chanticleer, and he's singing, and the bad guy in the movie, he's like, we can't have him. The cat disrupt him. So Goldie, go out there and distract him. So she sings this song, right? So she's like strutting her stuff, and she sits on him and distracts him, and he makes this like exaggerated face because of the squash and stretch of it all. His eyes are like bulging out of his head, and at first I was like, really? This is the image. This is the only thing. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, this is actually so perfect because it encapsulates everything. Like, he has the letter in his hand.
He's so like, just in love with her.
He's going like, goo goo gaga. What? And then you have like sultry Goldie right there. So I'm going to include the link to the now expired eBay. So what I did is I waited. There were about immediately when this listed, I looked and there were 20 people watching it. And I was like, no, that means other people have these like reminders, these auto flags set up because they're looking for this. And so, I just did the starting bid just to get it off. It was $30, but I knew it wasn't going to go for $30. And then I was like, okay, so I set all my timers so it would remind me to be at my computer, so I can make my final bid. And basically the way to win is you gotta do the snipe bid, which is at the very last second, you put in your bid, and you don't have to put like, oh, I'm going to up you by 5. You just put in your max bid. It will automatically step you up to above what the highest bid is. So it's not going to, so if like the bid is 100, it's going to do like 105 or 101, whatever. Like once you reach a certain amount of bids, it like, you can't bid in 1s anymore. You have to bid in 5s, right? So it would automatically do that for you. And then if someone else had an auto bid, it would like automatically go up to what your max bid was. So I did my max bid and I was like, wow, this is crazy. This is kind of a lot, but like this will be the next year's worth of birthday presents. It's fine. And someone outbid me, and I was so disappointed. And I was so disappointed. I like had to show Chelsea this. I was like, I'm not keeping this a secret anymore. And she and I had a good laugh about it because it was just so great. Oh my gosh.
It was amazing. And the fact that you were committed enough to like try to get it, was like, wow, that's love right there.
And then the person who won is just like, you can't really, because people and buyers have been intimidated, you can't see people's usernames anymore, but you can look at their history of what they've been bidding on. Like that'll kind of disclose that. And this is the type of person that bids multiple times a day on specific. It tells you the category of things that they're bidding on: animation, art, and collectibles. Like I looked at their thing, and within the past hour, these are the number of bids, and the whole page was filled with bids. So I don't know if this is like some sort of bot that they have.
I think it's a
store, clearly a collector. I don't know what their max bid was. Mine was 305 or something, because I was like, I don't know. Now I'm like, dang it, maybe I should have gone like 500, 600. I don't know. But then I'm like, okay, like the economy. I don't know. I love you, Chelsea, but even then I'm like, it is a lot. I think I could have done 500 and been like very satisfied with this gift to you. But then I was like, but I love this so much. But does Chelsea love this that much? Does she love the idea of this, or would I give it to her and she'd be like, thanks? You know what I mean? So that's why I didn't bid it so high. So there you go, guys.
I saw it and I thought that is probably one of the best moments of the whole film. And I was like, man, that's great.
Right?
I mean, second, it's second, but the most, if anybody out there has access to the cell.
If you are the person who bought this, shame on you. It's Chelsea's birthday. What is it? What
birthday?
It's the constable's birthday. What is that from? All Ducks Go to Heaven?
Yeah.
Come on, Shahi. You can do it. It's your birthday.
It's your birthday.
Lord Shahi's birthday.
No, the one that I really, really want is the moment where the Colonel guy like goes over and says that he can't, like, you could always give up show business, and she goes,
oh, Yes.
That
one has
tier.
been available, and I have seen pictures of it, but it's not available anymore. It went up for auction a few years ago. That particular one. Yes.
You could always give up show business.
I know. So I have a backup plan, maybe, but now at this point, it's probably it will miss your birthday. But I might still do it. I don't know. It's not. It's this. The problem with these original.
The idea of this is enough of a birthday present to me. So thank you.
Oh, I love you. So happy birthday, Chelsea. I'm sure this is going to the bloopers because this is quite an extended ending. So everybody wish Chelsea a happy birthday, even if it's after her birthday when this episode comes out. This episode comes out on your birthday, right?
Year,
Yeah. Just give her a happy birthday. And
happy birthday to Gary too. Yeah, Gary Wright, one of the OG listeners. His birthday's on the 24th, so
nice. Well, happy birthday to you both.
We often wish each other happy birthday.
Nice. So anyways, that's all we have for this episode. That's all we have for this episode of the Animation Addicts podcast. Until next time, we are the Rotoscopers. I'll just put it on the notes just in case. But yeah, here it is. It makes me so sad.
Because it's like his lips are like puckered as well.
He's like, whoa, what? Oh, it's like
my world has changed.
Yes, absolutely. I'm mad. Okay, like that would have been amazing. Because you like, okay, and I would have tried to have gotten it signed by Don Bluth. Like in the corner there.
Yeah.
It's not a Ray production background, which like who cares? Like it's an original cell. Obviously there's only one background for all those various cells. But it was so the more characters you have in a piece, the more expensive they are. And it's not like there's another one that came up and it was of the cat guy and it's like a mid scene where people are like transitioning. And it's like nothing's happening, and it's like, oh, this is like, I guess if you like are desperate for a piece, but this was like so perfect because like, you could just like, boom, pause.
That's one of the freeze frames. That's great.
Yes, it's one of those ones that's not like, well, what's happening here? Like, oh, we know what's happening here. So, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so with that, Peter's.
You've been listening to the Animation Addicts podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and be sure to leave us a 5-star review. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to help spread the word, be sure to share the podcast with your friends on social media. Just don't forget to tag us at Rotoscopers on Instagram and use the hashtag Animation Addicts. For all the links and full show notes for this episode, go to rotoscopers.com/podcast. Now, if you still can't get enough for your animation fix, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and visit rotoscopers.com for more animation news, reviews, and interviews. Thanks for listening.